Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Alex Flood. A plan to expand IT capacities for a number of services provided by the City of Thunder Bay was passed at the latest council meeting. The first comprehensive digital strategy would expand public Wi-Fi, develop an online tax portal, and offer online payments for water, parking tickets, and municipal camping. The city received $125,000 to complete the study, and city officials hope more funding is available to make changes.
I'm just wondering, considering there was funding flowing through the CEDC to small business, the whole digitization in the wake of COVID, are we anticipating more funding coming down from the province to resource some of these important initiatives?
I mean, certainly we're hopeful, and we would suspect that there will be some additional funding opportunities made available through things such as the Audit and Accountability Fund. I believe they're on the third intake now. So we will obviously keep an eye out for those, and where applicable, we'll go after those funds.
Once again, a member of council in Fort Frances has been cleared following an investigation by the town's integrity commissioner. It's the second report presented in 3 months, this time as part of an investigation into the town's mayor, who is alleged to have overstepped her authority as head of council. The commissioner also presented the full cost of the probe, along with a previous investigation of Councillor Douglas Judson. Adam Riley reports.
The anonymous complaint alleged Mayor June Call had been acting as the town's chief administrative officer, and by doing so, contravened several sections of the Code of Conduct, the Municipal Act, and relevant policies of the town of Fort Frances. The investigation by Paul Hain began in late August and focused on events and meetings following the retirement of CAO Doug Brown. Hain found some allegations were unsubstantiated, but several others were not.
Acting as the chief administrative officer, that accusation was substantiated. And I just highlight 2 different times that Mayor Call had said, I was asked by council to act in the CAO position along with administration.
But despite that, Hain's report concluded Call believed an acting CAO was different. Ergo, her involvement with administration was obvious and knew legally she could not act as the CAO in any shape or form. In his recommendation, Hain says gone are the days of small-town politics, where councillors paid a visit to the town solicitor or meet one-on-one with senior staff about an issue. Going on to say, municipal councils are directors of multi-million-dollar corporations, and there is a growing culture to act like one.
Most of the accusations submitted by the complainant are substantiated, but what is not documented is the miscreant actions of Mayor Call were done with no malice, but with the best interest of the town in mind.
With that, Hain suggested Call refresh her memory on the role of the head of council and believes there were mitigating circumstances which led to her actions during the summer, to which he recommended no sanctions against the mayor. Call, being the subject of the investigation, was given the right to reply to the findings, to which she kept very short.
I just want to thank Mr. Hain for his work on this, and I appreciate his comments and his suggestions. And other than that, I have no comment.
Council later voted in favor of accepting the report and its recommendations. It later discussed a bill for a previous Integrity Commissioner's report which looked into a complaint against comments made by Councillor Douglas Judson. Legal fees for that investigation amounted to over $36,000. Council was presented with a motion to pay the bill, but some took issue with the wording of the motion.
Just the last part, and further approves any outstanding remaining expenses and fees for the remainder of the year. It just feels a bit like a blank check to me.
Other members of council agreed with Brunetta, and the motion was amended. Hain was also asked of what the cost for his investigation and report would be, and it was revealed a further $7,000 would be billed to the municipality, leaving the town with more than $40,000 in legal fees of a budgeted $5,000 for 2021. Adam Riley, TBT News.
Members of council in Greenstone have been spending a lot of time lately talking trash. It's all part of the discussion surrounding the impending closure of Geraldton's landfill site. Prior to amalgamation 20 years ago, several of the communities that make up Greenstone all had their own landfills. With Geraldton's now having reached the end of its life, garbage will be sent to Long Lacs landfill. Deputy Mayor Jamie McPherson says the move will shorten the lifespan of that site. As a result, Greenstone has begun an environmental assessment towards a new centralized landfill for the entire municipality.
All the other landfills, once Geraldton is full, they will become full very quickly. quickly also, they were sized for the populations of the communities before amalgamation. So Nakina was landfill sized for Nakina, and Beardmore was sized for Beard. And once Long Lake gets full, they will be right behind it. We can use them for a bit of overflow. They are going to get full fast. So that's why we need to look globally throughout the Greenstone area.
McPherson says the process will also involve Greenstone's neighboring First Nations, and he expects the timeline for the environmental assessment and construction of the new landfill to take up to 4 to 5 years, at an estimated cost of $4 million. The landfill in Geraldton will officially close at the end of this month. Boxing Day was expected to be toned down this year due to COVID-19 restrictions, but plenty of shoppers still hit the stores to find those holiday deals locally. Mitchell Ringos has more.
With COVID-19 restrictions in place, stores are only allowed 50% of their usual capacity. But that didn't seem to stop shoppers coming out to line up and take advantage of the Boxing Day deals. There were hundreds inside the mall today, as many stores were offering 30, 50, and even 75% off. In recent years, consumers have went online to get their sales, but with recent shipping delays due to the pandemic, shoppers seem to have focused on local once again. We talked to some shoppers at Inner City Mall about how they felt about this year's Boxing Day and the extended sales.
You know, I love Boxing Day, all the good deals out here, you already know, and it always makes me feel nice guy.
Did a good thing.
Yes, For sure did a good thing.
Sir.
Oh, it's insane. There's usually not this many people. I've never been to the mall with so many people, and when we were driving, it's so busy.
And how are you finding the crowd so far here? Not bad, tolerable.
Well, I've only came today, but it's definitely more convenient that you could just go throughout the week, I guess.
Over at the Power Center, deals were also in full swing, with savings of thousands of dollars on electronics and appliances. General Manager Dave Radford says Boxing Day is always huge for them, with lineups blocks long in the past. With the pandemic, the Power Center is handling Boxing Day differently, but still see great numbers.
We offer a 30-day price protection policy. You can get up to 60 days if you want. And so we've noticed that although we're very busy today, it wasn't that mad rush in the beginning.
Play It Again Sports also has some amazing deals on outdoor jackets, skates, hockey sticks, and much more that will be running throughout the week. As General Manager Keel McEachran says, the actual Boxing Day is not huge for them. It's more the Boxing Week when the numbers pick up.
Usually we get a rush of little kids coming in with their gift cards looking for the newest, hottest stick or the newest skate or something they really want. So that's always pretty big. It's usually just a rush of kids coming through the door, gift cards in their hand.
And as you can tell, I got most of my Boxing Day shopping done today, along with hundreds of others. But if you didn't get a chance to do your after Christmas shopping, you're in luck, as the Boxing Day sales will be throughout the week. Mitchell Ringos, TBT News.
In other news across Northern Ontario, the Sault Area Hospital in Sault Ste. Marie is offering a new treatment option for local COVID-19 patients. The treatment, which involves the use of COVID-19 antibodies, is aimed at those at high risk of severe illness, which hospital officials hope will prevent lengthy hospital stays. CTV's Mike McDonald reports.
It's called monoclonal antibody therapy, and officials at Sault Area Hospital say it works by preventing the COVID-19 virus from entering and infecting healthy cells. An infection prevention specialist at the hospital says studies show the treatment has a high efficacy rate.
It's quite an impressive benefit. It's, we're preventing, the relative risk reduction is you're preventing hospitalization and death in the neighborhood of 70 to 85%, depending on the study and which monoclonal antibody. So that's quite impressive when we talk treatments.
Dr. Castellani says while most monoclonal antibodies have demonstrated little to no effectiveness against the Omicron variant, there is one that is shown to be promising.
One of the medications, sotrovimab, has been shown to be effective against Omicron, which is quite reassuring and is nice considering the news about the others.
He says those referred to the hospital to receive antibody therapy can expect to spend a few hours in treatment.
The treatment takes just around an hour to be infused in, and another period of time, about an hour or so afterwards, monitoring to make sure that they're well and they didn't develop any side effects of the treatment, which are very uncommon based on the studies. So they spend a few hours at the hospital, then they go back to their home for isolation.
Dr. Castellani says the antibody treatment is designed for COVID-19 patients with chronic conditions such as heart disease, lung disease, cancer, or those who are immunocompromised. The hospital says those patients will have to be referred by their doctor or by Algoma Public Health. Mike McDonald, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
The annual Christmas Kettle campaign fell just short of their $235,000 goal, but they feel it was still a huge success, especially with everything that has happened this year. The campaign has raised about $219,000 to date, which will go towards Salvation Army services like their mobile feeding program, which feeds around 116 people per night, as well as distribution of 395 hampers per month, 50 school breakfasts per day, and much more. And added for the first time this year was the tap option on the kettles that let you donate $5, $10, or $20 with the convenience of tapping your debit or credit card. Salvation Army Community and Residential Services Executive Director Gary Ferguson says he heard plenty of positive feedback from the public about the new donation method.
I think, from the success of what we're seeing, we're going to continue going on with the tap. It's been a very excellent tool for people, especially, again, with COVID and it being touchless.
Donations to the Kettle campaign will continue to be accepted until December 31st and can be dropped off at the Journey to Life Center or donated over the phone. Join now with Kurt Black. Kurt, just another example of giving. And speaking of giving, plenty of goals were provided by the World Juniors today.
Goals, goals, and more goals. We'll have all the highlights from day one at the World Juniors right after the break.